So
yeah, so
just
we
play a
apologize.
background music. For
We apologize for that. Life but we are happy to be back again to do the part two. This is going to be the second segment of the discussion, and hopefully it's going to take us 40 minutes or to 1 hour to have a discussion about um, a very important segment of this discussion that has to do with the coalition 2026, and then um, so to me I look about then UDP la stand na nyintemo nyina to momin na kunung wala loko ni loko ngokono ila pati nyaton ko eh lino draw le man ngol kamin fa lino nu ne le sentending me an look about ending itala a position or a sentending, but Sirifo is going to take us through what did they really mean with regards to those statements. Ibajala ko sa farmers or the bage. So we are waiting on Sirifo to come and to join us, and then so that we can go ahead with the program. Yeah. Doc.
Boss, now go to the man.
No, Ilongul is back. Sirifo, good to have you again for the second segment. Second segment of the program.
Just 1 minute. 1 minute. Like 1 minute. I understand. It's okay.
All right. So now I can need to go to regular GMA, you know. So Doc, I mean, below you know.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I'm maring a question. I got time all the time. All I think now. Yeah, we ran out of time, but it is what it is. I still have a whole lot of questions, but anyway, we would do away with become a council, and
I think we will have
national politics.
But chairman was chairman never kachara because I mean silver for nyana nyingala transportation on because ako state of arts a lot of quality installed in Brigade Council,
That will take us another 2 hours, man. So probably we go into the national politics and get things going. Yeah.
Yeah, but at our cool descendant, silver uncle at but in the bag.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's back.
Hello, Fadama.
Silvo, I am well. Huh? Right. So, Silvo.
Yeah, be welcome.
We apologize for that. Now we are getting into the substantial matters of today's discussion, and that is going to send that on Allah coalition building, Alba Min concerning and information also because Alba coalition building. You guys are on top of issues, but after Nin Data Finitan and to Momina, I mean, UDP, we are waiting on them or people. Mojmal Babadukan Allah engagement level in Bakaranyari because from the data it shows that with formidable coalition, there is a high chance that co-president Barrow Iba Butela election on 2026. But all of a sudden, Najala Patinya don't question me in the Mianoko Adiamuta, Miano Kabadening coalition building. Take us through because personally Kabring Naseviro Ninja on standard newspaper, no, Davo did not say this. What did Davo really say? Davo Munafordla. Well,
Eko Jumako Dabo did not say what. Sorry, can you please help me that part?
I said Kabrina standard newspaper you read. Nkoko, no, Dabo didn't say this exactly. That was my own thought. So I wanted
to what do you read from standard newspaper? Make you feel like Dabo did not say that?
Like no negotiation, no primaries, and whatnot. For me, that was my personal thing, and I'm gonna keep it to myself. Kajako, I mean, at this juncture, for me, I thought it wasn't timely. Okay.
What I can tell you, I know you are not a journalist, let me say, but you are someone may alone. I mean, you're trying to play your parts. You also contribute into national issues, but to tell you the truth, journalists always want to go in for big headlines.
No, I know. I work with the journalists. That's why I said I must listen to.
So if because that phone call in the car for that was covered by me. Nobody covered it. In fact, the issue is because the written news, we don't want to put anything outside, but later we feel like look, the party leader's speech and the deputy party leader's speech, and later we will speak like the new rules of the party, and Alaj Esdabo and the constitution of the party also. Maybe more bundle and half the Monday. But other discussion is within the party. So Okuma government standard yasabe ndele yata ndele I was the one may yata live and standard picket from there is storing in bed. But the video is out there, so that way meant for everybody can hear it from the video. So member ye will mean to go alu left a kukuli left a mole benyon like a kukuli ni atara mole yo jabi ndasa for you and sama ni left a nishita primary sla. Let be very clear with this. You go for you got a primary for a reason. Okay? You go for primary for a reason. For example, tell me one African country, or tell me in the world, dunia be kono. Tell me, I just want you to left it wrong in Karonya Canada for back. Dunia kono. Afonye a country may lonko. Kabrin Karto fighter in the second round la. May lonko will be third or maybe fifth. Eko ilafetele tambi. Member second way bule noma. Ni atara. Asoda dulato dunia kono. Asoda dulato dunia kono. Killing, just killing. Or there could be a possibility UDP allow themselves to go into primaries. Because primaries, if you don't have a reason or if you don't have a data of that is the time maybe you say without primaries. And when you tell you to about 2016, you accepted to go for primaries. Yes. 2016, we accepted to go for primaries, and we know the reasons why we go for primaries. But this time, we as a party, it's not a matter of going for primary or a convention. Look, the party can go in for a convention also.
Yeah, I think the network. Now, of course, all our Dunkana. Uncle, go ahead.
Ntolu as a party, UDP, any coalition or any form of alliance member killer, Ntolu nyaton kole ba nyaton kaya. What is something may along? Imagine, look, Kabin Dabo Taranung I Africa. Yanyin in coalition kola. I mean, Akono, Akontola position movement to defend follow them because Mansi follow. But after that, there has been a lot of attempts. We reach out to many political parties. So the only obstacle may along they want to go with us for primaries. But ni atara tonya nenyin ka min in jabala ndel left to go into deeper but ni man jabala I will go into deep mbe ko kilin bolo nyokono left ya fonye dunia kono do man diwul ka kafu jamama damen do dunia kono for in an election ni ya fonye jang kilin doron mba fole ko den c'est possibility pour UDP pour ifana ya kafu oda do man diwul ma ya la jamani saka ya dila. Just tell me one country in the world or in Africa.
Is that for Doc or me?
You who asked?
No, but I mean, that is second round. Okay, ita ba minyin karo minga wala ning kate fa da fa pareda. Opposition mi an ka banyado pour ñu ndole na ka fa may tammi. Bar san kate fe o man si follow and mum ajelo
ko. You know, isatara UDP, isatara balia UDP, ko kilin dron wala mutonyate and wala kweta. Ntebuga kuma for to please anybody, any political party or any political establishment, but tonyamo kilineti. And you know, whatever we say at the end of the day, you know, it's on you. What I say here is on me. Nana maja dunia dulato. Dami ya lonko iko jamala ka kafudo man ngoma. Wanena man sota politiko to dunia dulato. Now again, nyimmanke Gambia la carte fay foloti. Amanka fulanjanti, amanka sabanjanti. Historically, we know with evidential fact, in terms of opposition, the biggest opposition in the Gambia is the United Democratic Party. Adiatanye wala mutonyati. Akuyatanye wala mutonyati. Now, again, if we want to go into, let's say, you know, we have an incumbent that is hell-bent on self-perpetuation, and then we want all the opposition to come together going into 2026. Ning ayatarako, we are going to use statistics, we are going to use logic, we are going to use common sense. We know that the biggest in every form could probably lead that opposition in a coalition. How they go into the negotiations, probably that is not what matters to me. But the whole point is, if you look at it, even in Senegal, Pastef had a very bigger, a bigger majority opposition going into the 2024 elections. Other people came and they formed a coalition. But ku killing what a kufula bejemi yalon ko lafta mbari nyinin kalala. Killing, that is just my observation. Ni lafta ni molia kafu. Eka afuela ko alna nga kafu. Ibuka afuela ko alna lankang. Katu ntolla yabe nyami mole ke fango jele. This is a problem. There is a problem of ni mona mira kom tolga rala feka alna nga kafu. That is the language. The language of coalition building is a negotiation language. It's not a language of moral hand tolla bejang. Anunga moy modola, not really you nga moy dola ka ko pati karmi yalan ko mo wululle bebul kana doyandi. Kadu ni lafta ini moli kafu ibike doyandi bar hani la doya nyaonya imbele sula ta nyola nyin ko kon bar to nya ta fola nyako moro mo dan tan be da wol tan na jamara mano na la fayta kam. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any logical sense. It doesn't make ngo anya fo nyama do le silo ka ba fole ko moro ndamale kamifu kadu ndewo ma fahamno bar kufula wala be nyin coalition diamo be kon jamana na buka lafano doman ningo kam wamu ku soto rinnet bare fulan nyango dole kam min fo wala nyinde ko 2016 de nyinle kudo ko mas jami yalon ko yela molda mallata yedu ni pala solto ni da ko da sanji saballa ila patili da lafta min kala nyindo nyaton ko atelo ko sanji sabota kala jang. How do you assure people that such things will not repeat again? Because my problem is not who should lead the coalition card. What is common sense foning atara kudo be marito. And to tell UDP ngata primaries later ni 70 and I told ni 70 and I told ni carte file la fo carte file 70 le bebul wuli keme fula bende bulite wuli saba be buli ka fonde ko etani 70 and ni 70 na hani te fonda sonna wala e ikonde konde ni wuli luli na nan itani dal si fula na nan iko mbeba bila babilo le tema me domoro be talala la half moro nkana nyona kardu kare comme tilimbali alti. But again, how do you assure people that alna nga kafun nyokan ko dol keda no moro ndaba falal to nyalo mon tedum buka sila mola wala UDP ya kulla ke jamim manyan ka ko adama manta jira 3 years kado adama ni gambian kolta korta wala bar hani atara UDP of atar adama to kado ninta ngoy tabula kula bi mi yalon kan mbari no na yalon ko to nyani tinu manta ba falal ko no mbari ni molda korta mi nambar nga bara wala bar na ataranto mbe bara la wala. So the biggest betrayer in terms of that coalition is the man in State House. How do we remove this man? How do you reassure the Gambian people with confidence and, of course, make them, rebuild that trust? Because I know, to be honest with you, there are trust issues. Nintatan lafate ka warange to lobule tambita yamre minketa ita wala kala ko ngeta folen ko nadia ta lele bojang. Kare yalo UDP kabri modol famata dipite yalo ndolla sade fon ko karmi yalo ko obuka safen wal ko ngoda ay ndo kana mol batan dijam. But of course, these are things that people learn from and they evolve because in coalition Sifa and Naman Gambia followed 2016. What do you learn from coalition 2016 and what do you expect going into 2026?
Okay. Abarakabake, but no, I am very pleased with the response you maintain now. This is what I expect. This is what everyone should expect from a patriotic citizen. When truth comes, you speak it. Sometimes there are issues or there are things or response maybe personally at a dialogue, but it can be for William Tonyati. I have to accept it because truth is the only thing it can give you a positive result, and that is what you have said. Yes, the bigger problem is the trust issue, but I want to assure Gambians one thing. Ntolu, our leader, have been there and he faced a lot of difficulties in that position. Yes, he personally was the one, Mayor Alonko Afinteta, at Diamuta. I understand for about the coalition. But that is his personality because I remember ate allow Diamu I have a men kama on his personal ground was because Atemun loyalty. He's a lawyer by profession, and in fact, he's a constitutional lawyer. Loyal mati andung I menkarang lawyer nyinto wulam nyinto luala karola andung kabreka woteda atamantaraji. So bari ate personally ate I feel ko lawyer nyinafo andung if we can go by the law, that is what is going to favor the country. That was his belief. But that was not the belief of me, because I was part of the people I was part of it. I do my part. Kajo coalition on your success. Then definitely not. But ndala believe me meant all you ko sanji sabo na wala fo. In fact, aliva ko sanji fula. Because sanji fula batar la tapana age in tambida. Aliva ko sanji fula, to tell you the truth. But Adama mem for all you ko Adama ko sanji saba. So nin dabo na dabo ko no sanji lulu, because Lua wala fo, that was Dabo's position at the time. But the party at the time, when the party sit as an executive, they come up with a decision called, look, Adam have to respect the 3 years. Dabo have only one vote in the executive. So that was a decision of executive. And in fact, it was very difficult for Dabo to come out and give that statement. But the party said, if you actually and the majority carried the vote, so you must come out and speak. And that was very difficult for him, but he have to do it because particular decision on what, right? But fact movement I mean, we feel like is a mistake. Let us be very frank. The statement Dabo Menke in that time, although I have for Menkama, I believe I have for Menkama because of Atemu loyalty. And a loyal person on the constitutional base, I have for Walakama. But he was not there when we were doing this agreement. But if you go further, Iba Jaloko sign Adama is the person Mayor Longo sign. Atleling Gambian calling contract or sign. Adama Gambian calling contract or sign. When Dabo was in the prison. So basically, Adama Nyandaka Forayata. Kajako Dabo in for Tonalem de Bari Gambian column Ntele La Hido Sido Tumo Dabo Mantaraje. Otonyantaka Gambian call low La Hido Nin Timmandile. And Lua Sontawale. Because Lua Monson Menawala into Kamo Force. Carbon Sirango, Lua Monson. But Lua Sontanako, member Siran Siranokam, now Apumaja Water Wat, maybe Alajata Kenya, for example, or maybe Napumaja Water Wat Kajako. Tonata Yinamula Hido to Nimbanko Dumutema. As a Mansayabulano, as a Mansayabulano, and no Lua Sembo Dialafana, Kajako, election already organized. Election already organized. Because Niagibe Dolsaboko, Nim President Gita, and the Vice President Kapala Sota, Nim Vice President Montraje, the member, the Speaker of the Parliament. I think that is how our law, the law allow. But in this case, Utumo Deputy Bumo Benyamin. They can come up with a law, because yes, the president is going to leave power at the end of the 3 years. So when now we are going into an election, because that was the plan. In fact, that election only from Adama Man Lola Num, Adamata Lola. All these were agreement, but people are now okay. Let's say now Gambians agree. Gambians agree, right? Gambian also Santanyina. Kajoko, okay, now you go for 5 years. So when you go to 5 years now, you have broken another promise. Wala nyundo electional men minala. Adamala be for ako electional men minala. Ako ate mandalo electional to be free and fair electional prepare. Me alongo Gambia election system is going to be very level. That was what Adama says. But Adama failed all those things. I Gambian called Jikini men I betina. So if we are talking about trust issue, we should talk about the trust issue is Adama. Going further about the coalition. You know, UDP Ndolmantara Kolyaring and Nata Kolyara, because it's a people's party. Bankodun La Patiola. Bankodun La Patiola. And no, like what you have said, data, science, whatever, logic, everything have shown ko UDP number Bentolebul. And Tola Patiola from 2021, Kanafo B. There is no, from 21 cannot be UDP nominated. UDP was never silenced. Let's call a spade a spade. UDP have consistently been there. Kamansakuna kusonsong. Patita banko ka member okay kam katambe UDP la. So we've been there as opposition, as the strongest opposition, So when it comes to a level may lonko, when we become a level may lonko sign, nyanda kata karte fayola, mambalanko, mambalam brun nim patiya kafu nyokan. Nin kafuta nyokan, mbe luwali melandila mambala obela. Ndola bro me ndolko, nim nisa kafuno nyokan, babar nyaton kaya ntolle botala. Barsa coalition obi dani bunda menna, ubunda sa sino so kacha. Not all left of. In fact, if the coalition partners want to lead everything, like to bring in all those rules, there could be a possibility. If those rules are good for the country, we have no problem with that. But the only problem to mention as the United Democratic Party, the leadership, we are not compromising the leadership position because we have clear evidence. Kajako, science have proven, logic have proven, but Gambians themselves have proven to us. The last results about that proof. Well, let's look at the last mayor's election. Let's go to the last chairman's election. UDP have, they have the larger vote. They have the popular vote. They have more vote than even the incumbent. So you have seen that one already, and you are telling that party with all that number, we are telling you to come and rally behind us. Come on, it doesn't make sense. With all your numbers, with all the numbers, and then again, let's go back to data. The last survey among the oppositions now, the majority of Gambians in that survey also it only they say they believe in that survey. The survey is telling you the majority of Gambians believe in UDP. And yet still, you want to ignore that data also. You ignore the mayor's election. You ignore the data. And now again, you still want to force us to no. So the only problem is our problem is not the system.
Offering dog. I think you want to add
our problem is not the system, how the coalition is going to run. Our demand is, we said, any coalition we are going to any coalition which is going to happen, and that coalition UDP is going to be part of it. UDP leader is going to lead the coalition, but how the coalition is going to run, or the plans, or the norms and everything coalition is not going to be decided by us alone. That can be decided collectively. Okay. But this position of United Democratic Party is uncaged.
Mari.
Yes.
But no, you speak in negotiation terms. Don't. Kana ke you know me mansa diamoti. We are not burunga sonko. Nga domondom kana foko it's on change. I know that like I said, statistically there is no way you can make it make sense to me, and of course logically there is no way you can make it make sense to me. Ita volante ko ntene wululi na ita ndala sifula ina nanga, but it will cool be half total. That doesn't make sense. Now here I do not have the problem about who leads the coalition, and I don't think any other person who is reasonable and of course is factual to himself will not have a problem about who leads it. How you lead it, that becomes the ball of contention. Issues of trust, issues of saying how is it going to be developed, and who are we going to select? Of course, we know that Dabo had this history of saying, oh, this 3 years, they want to pin it at that. Now, your responsibility is to see beyond that, to be able to convince people tomorrow. But now, you have trust issues. Come to the negotiation table. Let all parties determine how we are going to work as in a coalition that will bring about a change in 2026. But not about who leads it. I don't have a problem personally, because what should I give to say, oh, no, this person should not lead?
Logically, that is the stand for every Gambian. They knew that, if coalition happens to be down today.
Because honey for sign, ima long. Nemoli Adama Jibet, UDP alone no. Abukolo ko bidrong, nitende ki karangala manson karango kela moro. Ise banyawo nya. Hani sa ko karante ndi wonte ngadi. Mol ba falo ko akarle dingo nko. Iko di dingo tada fa yalon kom ni makata. Waye kuke mi yalon kan silo ni sarto manda. Hani fafan ka falo ko ka fala musola dingom. So Adama, you cannot conclusively disown him, even though we know he is gone his way. But UDP le atandi Gambian call in a coalition Gambian call ya tombong, I Gambian call jamfa.
Yes.
So hani for say mo ba ko Adama boda UDP le nga karang wala ko. So say ni tol murunda ko denge ko nga modo dila ko denge. So but now Mimbe Kwodi, is UDP willing to Kasarato Landemi Yalonko is going to be public and is going to be signed, is going to be agreed on, and UDP be bara la wala kajoko with all partners ngajoko ndakota mina ngabara wala for that 5 years. And make sure that whatever they put in those clauses are constitutional, because near kuke jemi Yalonko and in constitutional manta. This is where the problem would come. But again, Kabiri ibe kamben na among alla party leader taraje. That is why the party leader needed to leave it alone. Because amankate nyala. But ngalo na fananko ya fo jannako UDP is not one person. Party leader teje lawyer jamal lebe UDP. Hani lawyer ya fangon den karangonte moro ya lon karangon mindi. Ka hakilo soto and then katamandi. Ndama moja min karantete because what you think and what you logically put across there makes sense to me. Wala kumata. You talked about your scholarship. That is so. Sometimes it's not about the degrees you hold. Sometimes we give a lot of relevance to that. But even though academics is relevant, but then mini benunje UDP karanna Gambia siata jelede, lonna siata jelede, tamala siata jelede, na fulsio siata jelede. Ita folanyeko all of those people made the mistake of the 3 years because it only again wale nyama at that time. But at one point, if it is not constitutional, we could have let 3 years to go and then have a reset for the country. But at this stage now, at this stage, the important thing that I think a lot of Gambians don't talk about, and that is the issue, is the trust issue. And then are you willing to open the negotiation to make sure that this text can have mass stamp, mass sign, manketing, or manka kumati silande. If people are coming into a coalition, Puruka Gambia Bondi, Gambia tilling this, tilling on into Nyakan. I don't know, 2016, 17, Fondo love Nyomin, Wolmandoko, Folman Cartify. So the whole thing is about putting this country on the right footing. And how can you assure me that
like I said, I am not the spokesperson of the party. Let me make that disclaimer.
Right.
But I'm not the spokesperson of the party. Actually, I'm a member of the media committee, but not the spokesperson of the party. I just want to make that very clear. All what I'm going to say here is what I know.
No, but we invite you as Kachalala meeting, Gambian Kolo meeting, Gambia.
No, I understand. No, I am making. I'm only making this disclaimer. Does it mean ko? It might not be the stand.
Right?
Yeah. It might not be the stand of the party. I just want to make that very clear. So, UDP we are open. Like I said, me pareri ne purun ning nkafuyo mali kacha. Me pareri ne ning other opposition le kacha. And I can tell you for free, we have already started that. Now Jamaleke andung, as I am speaking to you, I can tell you for free, already almost parti sabanyong wal pareri mbande walem pur kafuma munkama bankola nafaka munkama ilata nyinne dankineta nyinne ko ni tolu nyanta nin mo nyanta ka adama baro boyndi jang o ni pati o nyanta ka adama baro boyndi jang o pati o mu judi pilet andum bankobe pare rinne ka je ko ka adama baro boyndi jang wo pati olu oronto wo molu ibe pare rin ibe jikri wala lanno le be bulu wala ha tinna ibe pare rin pour e pareta already pour ka jon UDP kan other political parties melia lonko a man some follow or a man kafuma follow, we will still try to pursue them. Mbe normal ni be kachalale, mbe kaunganyalale. But you kuma kili foja kumada batele. Me mol landila lo nyadi le ka foko ning atara is sontan toluma. Mbe bala la menna abekele kule de meya longo bankola lua sontala o bankola sarfol sontala. Because bankol na kodo leke num kol me longo bankola lua mantaraje men se balano momaje. But now, if we talk about, for example, the number of years Sanjalu moment be coalition ni lila yala be ango sanji sabako ya onata fala kota sanji sabako jang yalo mbe yalo nako naka fola because we all learn from that kajako lua man sembedi mola wala. And in fact kawdula bamba nima wo sanji sabako la atina because ngolu kabembe 3 years jot nan tata ali fasalla yal. But you know, niaje alifa salaman fintino because aman fintino ka kafu mol ba because mina kata ako sanji saboni ako tonyalam e kamben da sanji sabola aso tal ako e kamben da sanji sabola bay amanke loi o to sa nimbe loi la de ala na coalition ko no be loi de la loi satol de satol milliard lonko itenda bankola loi buko tinyala itenda bankola loi buko nyin ita tinyala. That is one thing, Mayor Longo, we have to, make sure working. So UDP operating, and so, UDP, I can tell you for free, Alu and Malmo, Belola Gambian called failing, and the sonna Jamfala, the sonna Fenna Mayor, because 2016 was a learning period, and in 2016 also. If people want to put all the blames on UDP, Kajako is our failure, I think that is also not very fair. Let's call a spade a spade. Because Nyanyam Gogo, Obekela Kule Mianka Memfair, Mobe Yalon no Kombenu Nyame Nun 2016 in Banco Benyame. Many of the intellectuals Imahani, it's a Ramaborin. And in fact, there were intellectuals, Melialongo Bibe Diamula, they were mooted, they were there in the Nuwato. But I will not blame them. They blame la. I don't know the reasons why some of the momo they oyalo yake menkaman. So that was the reason.
Silva, I want us to get this straight.
No, listen. That was the reason. Kabring ganyo keta. Na jibe dibitol mel na comme mbarni wa fu nyame. Na dibitol do tombo na dibitol mel yalo ngay mankara. But ni ajibe o dibitol lebe num kato ke kan. Let's call it spade. They were the one. We'll live in Kato cake and it apple of more Katabake. In an of Sanjim one in fact. In an of Mome Yalong, Kataka, Karantalo, Yavoko Purko Palazzo Duola. It's sometimes you have to, logically, it might not be the solution, but logically we have to feel like, woman Mankaran sign and we are alive the sacrifice sign. Maybe that is something we all have to think. But now, compare. Na National Assembly member so Melia Lonko will lebe nunjeno. And Melia Lonko B will lebe academically. At least we move to a level because at least we have university graduates as members of the parliament. We have people Melia Lonko, they were bankers. We have people Melia Lonko, they were in high positions. And they went to National Assembly. And then, can move forward. We will make sure we provide Nafendi more Lamelia Longo, Namoldi more Lamelia Longo, Ibedoko Kela Nyamale. So I can tell you, Nim Kule Momo Sila. Ni Atara Kule Momo Sila. And Zapale ko Usenu Lua Tiolit. Usenu Lua Lone. And Dum Usenu Inshallah Naye Lahido Menke. Lua la Carola, Ningambe Dumul, Wallahido Ning. Atabundla noto, but the party also Ningambengole Lahido City. Lahido Nimbundla noto. And we will be there for the Gambians. We will make sure what Gambians want for the development of the country na longkambe kele woleti. And each of these parties men nata. It depends on the agreement. But whatever agreement ni agree to men na, I can tell you if it comes in terms of governance or government, we will make sure we go by that agreement.
Doc, do you have additional question? I want us to go straight to the discussion proper before time on Jamfara. It is crystal clear to all of us, you, me, and Doc, that a single party has never won in the Gambian election. And then the other GBB, atala party kere party the mial noko heavyweight so do but alkona nintemo nina. How would you reconcile? Or in fact, are you guys willing to talk to your brothers? You have brothers, many alnoko. Your particular scientist, Mimbo Jedabo, Talib Bensouda is somebody me alnoko. You admitted that he is serving over 100,000 people within his municipality, and then he actually brought a lot of development in that area, like building municipality library, and then Niada GB I trokol Mbalit project calling Kujamal Mekeje. He can use that on his own behalf now. But I'm under UDP, Purkaja to sell his candidature and stuff like that. Allah mul bitakan. Modul Bije one man kafal for 2016, Mimbuko Mama Kande, and Mama Kande is a very, very heavyweight politician in the government politics. Me and Nako, he scored over 100,000 votes in the past elections. Me and Nako Atambira Bangoka. A lot discussion level standing. For Alba Gibe Kanapuru, you know, Aleta for Ninkel Nokang, Purkajo Keburun and Patikono, Alisa Duko Kanayami.
Yeah, like the party leader said, no, we are open. The party is not restricting anybody. Whoever want to come into the party.
Would you guys go after those people?
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said our doors are open. Nabunda be alu. Our doors are open. Nabunda be whoever want to come, the door is open for you. But I can tell you one thing. There are people in that movement, we are talking to them. We're still talking to them in the movement. Me personally, I am talking to people in the movement. Inshallah, they will come back. Because, why I talk to those people is near closeness in the party. And I know some of these people, the intention they were having for the party and its leadership. So, like I said, in the political corner, I don't have an enemy in politics. We can have different views, but yet still you are not my enemy. Katonya for moe, and in kapoko karimu jahoti is completely different. We must understand this. Nse pinde katonya for, but nte bula lela. But I can tell you, the party have different committees, and each of these committees are working. So, ekani molmel fota mele alon go tata me bayde yalo yemmo mem bay e kata wole ya man ne ya fay ko muruna bar me bay itade fayele and yet still itade fayele nyama me bulage because dolbe je atata imalo mun condition nata maybe asikeno kule ya tinna tata asikeno julole bala dol allah alam asikeno ya jigini fennela but asikeno the person is misinformed. So you have to go to that person. You talk to the person like the way you campaign a new person to come into the party. So I can give you the assurance we are not resting, to talk to them. But to make more killing for them for the to go, and Makata but come and go ye pulo anyoka ha in man in from mansong blah blah manta blah you need to montage UDP will not make anything. No. Momo Fananko Mira. And I can tell you this.
Yeah, so with regards to this, then dog binal it has to do with this wording of electability and electable. You call the party leader, he's not electable. He has been contesting for over 5 times, and then in Katema Gamenolma Ganyandino. Near the local government election or GB, utterly popular votes, or near Bango Bela Kate Hymanyokan. UDP have more vote than that of the incumbent. So I got problem about Allah party leader bala for atal majako purka modo kotan samana ka party ning lead and then Alio Mari Fananteso Tembo.
Did we I want to ask you one thing also with that. Did we have during the last presidential election the so-called results? The so-called results they mean Are you telling me? I want you to tell me Usundabo Jelaso. Usundabo Jelaso as the biggest opposition party leader. I Jelaso in the last election. I need that data.
27%. 27%.
27%. How many votes?
200,000 plus. Yes.
How many votes?
It's around 200,000.
200,000 plus. And okay, putting all the mayor's candidates together, or all the people, Melia Karofa, Mayor, Niabe Kapnyoka, UDP Jelasono?
No, I didn't know that. I'm not with that data.
Okay, if you go back to that data, Useni, yet still Useni is at top. I mentioned nationwide, and in Kabinata Mayor Resla, Masoto. So that tells you, because the amount of vote Useni mentioned, there is no opposition here, according to the data, according to the survey, or according to what actually happened. Menketa follow Nyai Menje with evidence. Why mentioned na wole minduko Usenu is the only person Mealongo he ever have the highest vote in this country. So Ninda electability though, the person with the higher vote, that person is more electable than the person with the lower vote. Because all this come of Yankuba have 77. Although you will tell me it's not nationwide, Taliban have 50-something thousand. Yes, it's not nationwide, but so far, that is where we can have a clear data or a clear evidence about each and every one of them. But I understand it. So, Ninna electability, then the proof of Hussein have, at least I believe it's a so-called data or so, the proof of Hussein having 238,000 votes, that tells me, after putting Talib, Rohi, Landing, everybody in the country, after putting all of them together, yet still Hussein have more votes nationwide than each and every one of these people. So believe me, the person who is more electable in this country, there is nobody else, what the data show us, qualified than Hussein and Dabo. And like I said also, it's only hypocrisy. Usenu have never been winning election here. It's not true. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because let me tell you something. Usenu, 1996, election. Who is going to call that election a free and fair election? So now you are telling me an election which is not free and fair election, you want to make that election, I mean, because you are out of the party, you want to tell us that election is free, that election is fair. No. 1996 election was not fair. 2001 was not fair and transparent. 2006 was not fair and transparent. 2011 was not fair and transparent. All this election in the past, none of this election was transparent. I wish those past elections election let's say they count each thing. If I be a continent,
sport counting.
Sport counting. I wish those days there was sport countings. If there was sport counting in those days, Usain is not electable. No. And then imagine, I mean, these people, Molmelialonko, didn't know Dolmelialonko, a Pachapachala, who didn't know Molmelialonko, a Pachapachala. Ndabukawol Danku. They know nothing from 1996 because Imawulu 1996, Jamal. Jamal be 2000 didn't know Molmelialonko, Wulu the science. Iman history long, Iman Tariko long, Molmel Yandaka Tariko Foye, Iman Lab Kela Walla. It will favor Ikarantale. I am not attacking these people. It will favor they understand issues. I am not attacking them, but many of these people need to go and learn, need to go and ask the parents, our parents, need to go and investigate and try to know what happened. Maybe care in 1996. Hey, 1996 in Banco Kanjang. It was not easy who is going to face the dictators. I'm not sorry. Jumala Beya Jame Faisla after I patrol Bay ban.
But it got 2006, not coalition on Alio boycott. Take us through about that.
Okay, so I had them talking about the not coalition. You see, let me tell you something. Not coalition, they camp against UDP. Yes, because you see that these small parties and other parties, because some of these parties, I want to tell you historically, they were there after Yajembe ban, Kabi Yajembe ban, after Jamal Nada, they rallied behind UDP. So, and then Ushenu Noma, Bitakam. So it went to a position like some of them, Malak Ushenu leadership plan. So the only thing they can do is to go and, camp against UDP. After believing that UDP have the numbers, more UDP no, but they still want to come and comment either Malu 70 or whatever to fight against UDP, which is not logic. UDP was part of the discussion. I'm not going to discussion. Menu discussion I'm not going to discussion. Menu discussion we were part of the discussion. But when we went to a level that I mean, Hussein, I feel like, no, he cannot continue. And it's not about Hussein, it's about the party. It's about the party.
So,
it's not about Hussein. I don't really see my point. It's not about Usenu. The party yala function policy sort of party yala own principles sort of. And all of these people, they all know Usenu Dabo. And they all know the sacrifice Usenu and Menke. They all know how Usenu stood for them. Hey, Usenu Lota Mojamale Jande. Usenu Bata Balata Nimbango. But didn't know Milalon ko say you didn't pacha pacha. Hey, Ijamabe Usenu la 90, Usenu la last mutarodo na kalamuta. But Usenu la atata true separation of men. Ima wakalam 1996 I bata menke 98 I bata menke in Banco Kang. Ima long. And the subsequent election UDP ko le batale melke. Then bridge. Doli ya moy only in TRRC ya moy woloto. So they do not they actually don't know UDP tambita menna. Alu.
So Songo falsi la
long UDP tambita ni long UDP tambita menna.
Falsi la
wala and adama ya ko miroto. Logically miroto.
Dog left in Kala, but left in Kala Mina, one false letter on 70 Mingera Nuna 2006. Patil Bowl, it was Ivaki on a postal combat. Wala Nalco Hani, top seed when you want top seeding at a mala.
Yeah, because remember you want to go MNKO in NAD and others. I know that thing, maybe that is part of their plan, right? Yemenke, NAD and so that might be part of their plan. But I don't want to go to all that because, like I said, discussions are going on, and new media mukela ika dol kamfandile dol kamero no coming be disrespect kan so wala tina kumo dol be yenta futala wolto I understand the futala wolto be wol reserve lale fo nimbe si da kotanke table to na gibe kuma kan be mbodo nan table to misana kuma kan nyum fanam fo moliye. But like I said, na position of the diamond to be wala nyindu ko alu UDP is open. UDP is open.
Okay. So I think Doc have a question. Doc, we have a question because Nyana City for Blala in next 5 minutes time. I think Doc Lanetoko is just coming and going. Silfo la fenyin enkala question o minna. Maybe this will be my last question or second to last question. Has to do with UDP. There is a coalition talk me bitakan signed in Team Gambian Apex. And what about to moment in the UDP, they do not want to negotiate the issue of primaries. They are going by themselves. Do you believe that if UDP happens to go by themselves against President Barrow, they will be able to beat President Barrow alone?
I mean, what I can tell you, I know UDP is not going alone. I can tell you that for free. We are not going alone. We have parties, Melialongo, they're ready to support us. I can tell you that for free. And these parties are parties, Melialongo, we believe they have followers. So we are not going solo. I can tell you that for free. We are still calling a lot of people. Like I said, some of these parties, or one may call parties or movements, some of them in a position of forming a movement or a party, and they come and join UDP. Because Niajibe, for example, Alaji Mahmoud Kurang. We all know Mahmoud Kurang. At least Mahmoud he have a bigger support base in 2021, he went for a nomination, although he was not, accepted. But at the end of it, Milekada, he joined PDYS. So now, Mamadi has been working so hard, and now he has endorsed UDP and the party. Not only that one, Mr. Suare also joined the party. He also have the intention to contest. Mr. Bojang also from Jamanjeli also joined the party. You understand? He also Youth for Change. He also have a movement, a very strong movement for that matter, from Combo South, Afanankafuta Party Omale, and endorse the leadership of ANN Usainu Dabo. So basically, I can tell you for free that there are a lot of people, they intended to stand as candidate, but as we are speaking, ilawo intentional nyo ilo ngani yo purka lo presa ya ka nyili ya baile e pareta ka bula UDP noma e pareta ka UDP sementu ya purka jeko UDP ke patio me ya lonko itolba wala fasala le adabo ke leader me ya lonko itolba tala wala noma for the benefit of for the Gambia, for the benefit of the Gambia. So Gambia la nafa kan banko la nyarota kan comme nafa nyame molu political party olu and funding chol million ko ilafta ka palaso nyini keta multi million ko yela hamo bay yela process ya ambition bay la fu nyamin alaji mamad kurambe wol konole alaji soare fanambe wol konole and Mr. Bojang also from Jamanjeli afanambe wol konole anung modol million ko be parerine e mam futanam follow bari be parerine hamo be la pour que lo process ba yela process ya hamo bay dolbe je fam wol man na follow bari ibe kada kulti ka même follow ñu ko continue la bulu kense nimmina la ba tar la fenne bem fanam bul o dal wati dinna niwol be kata kan be kado ki kam baake ka jeko ka usunu dabo endo because mo be alon ko bi nim momo alon ko you are serious in change you are serious imari be pare falungo yalo no ko to nyata nyanda ka kafu memba o kafu nyanda kala United Democratic Party leti bar bari alu ñimu ñin karo me yalon ko yen ñin karo ana kuma da baake na kuma kallaban maybe nalon jani ba fa ko la kuma kallaban sa fo Gambia
jani bela kuma kallaban samala na imagine na ñin karo ni jabi wala mu ko
okay
coalition building about caring side in a start and UDP fanam bela kadol ke kana pour kanyu approach. Let's put this scenario into context. Ni atara UDP imana nying party do koto nying heavy party mi aloko no APRC no the alliance the mama kande do not align themselves with the UDP. Do you think UDP ale chance to the President Barrow defeat in 2026 election? Because we have 9 months to go.
Like I said, I wish those parties join us, we do it together for the benefit of Gambia. For Gambia and Afakama. I wish. But like I said also, if they don't join us, I can tell you, UDP solo, we can make it. Because one thing you need to understand, but what is clear, whatever results na mention at the end of it will be to the pool. Compared to others, many alongo, I mean, if a diamu can sign anything, but they might not go into the pool. So one thing for sure, I can tell you, we have a united force, but united force I can tell you for free based on what we are doing. Hello, meta UDP meta UDP and Kabinda started to actively participate in UDP. Kabinda started to actively participate in UDP. Ngera multi me yalongo UDP la cold, UDP la meeting to UDP la strategy don't come be kuja ballot. But alu nyina nyaay menje UDP la tamandri bulol mel yemel landi. Alu nde yalo nako anatara UDP da male tata. We are going to defeat President Barrow. And evidence is already there. Ninga tara mayor's election o men kita jang o kiaman election o men kita UDP President Barrow da adam mape. Oto ni UDP do kubake UDP kada koke. UDP a make so if kabila sate ward o ward consequence region o region house to house. You make so ko with more than for example ninde yakada from today nani ngani oso ko ndam UDP dingolti janni ba folo ko December left ka make so namo keme sama na UDP ko o left ka make so namo talul sama na UDP ko o ban defal left ka make so ko namo tan sama na UDP ko. Imagine for example now Ali, let's go by the data. Let's say for example already what the data shows us, for example the last election Yememfo, what it tells us wala nyuko iko mo keme fula mo wul keme fula tan sama nin say iko wole katodi UDP la.
Yeah.
Okay, bari yalo UDP ani modo kapta nyokana mari sok nyolu ani mbakar bunja dawo nyol. Okay, so now 30,000 or 38,000 on you know the wala sai na ko sai 200,000 wole katodi UDP la. But that 200,000 on you amanta de asabati talade because ni ajibe for example during the last mayor's election UDP came up will came up last la and UDP da male also the kodi or say me ara UDP also the last mayor's election sign ko UDP dingo di mayor lo go katro file during mayor's election laftale mo fula samana mo fula. So now let's multiply I mean 200,000 by 3. Where is 600,000 votes?
But still for
So
what
Gambia
that Allah mayo podia. Mayo tata saying. So I think O is gonna be minor.
What I'm telling you, I forget about Mayo, whatever. And for example, let's say for example, okay, Mayo Fanantata, for example, and then like what they are saying, Mayo Tafane Mulbon UDP. Okay, let's say Mayo at least Mayo Fanantata, let's say for example, let's give him this now, Nafendia, Mayo Fantara Nimo Wulta Lulni say. O mo wutal lu ni woro ay men sura le meo sa for example meo talib ben sura ni wol be tata la sa UDP sa fok sa men de sa tam bulu now o mo kadle ke se wul ke me wutal lu le for example kadle ke kame wul ke me wutal lu sa wul ke me wutal lu sa ngo momo pati ding leftale mo lu sama mo lu for example so mo lu sa now multiply 150,000 by 3 or by 5 over number jale dile la. So this is the modality, this is the structure as it now. Every member of the party must bring in someone to the party. How are you going to bring in those people? If I'm someone no the party auto, if it's a mol kan in Kuluola, if it's a mol kan in Sobeyala, if it's a mol kan in Tonyala. But if it's a mol kan nyala nyame ya lonko, wole be diala wole, but even manyala tele manyame ya lonko, you inspire others, mele ya lonko, they are not with us. That is what we are doing, and that is the plan we have. We don't have problem with anyone. Like I said, this is not the first time a prominent member of the party, prior party Obula. And I want to make one thing very clear here, Gambians to understand that. Let all the politicians understand that. Nkatulung election wala bad, but nkatulung na voters card wala bad. Anu, masakunda member siri anyata ka hakilo to bad. Ase menya una nyama masakula du banda bari ye molu men samana men ke banko dingulti ye banko la kaydo sika yadira wal kana non doron katale faylu muto ne kana ni na roto katale faydo ye finti ndol katara bata men kono on katu bata men kono o the separation banko dingul katara men kono. None of those people will feel it because ndol lebe steering ndol lebe living in that condition. So that is why to be a patriotic, bankola. For one to see you as a patriotic. Bankola doesn't mean coming kafoko ibe balana lunta wala sabat wala banko kan. But no lunta wala nata inyanda kana banko kaito nyin anin silola the system. Iba yelo kunia kaito nyin anin silola na namo la bunda la fana ika fendu ndi namo tole. But be so bita men na crossro kede men mol le kabona banko dole ka ikanai ka dabula na katle payo. But I blame ndol banko dumul because for example nunda boda badibu kerawan nte alo le jumala wuluga badibu kerawan nte alo le jumala sida badibu kerawan nte alo le jumala sandi tanin lul ke badibu kerawan but the moment sandi tanin lul ke badibu kerawan fo kayto babul la ba fo kayto man tarabul nte nyanda kawlo for example. So nde fonte nyanda sonna la ba mome ya lonko namina janna sado do ferek bar carte fay lumule nyabo itaka ay nanan jay carte fay ay bula la moto onda sela la susareto kan ay muru ala banko kan say dol tatra kolya mi dol tatra ko jang o kolya be kolya mi ya lonko dol lebe o difficulty intala mega men ko dan. Let us all stand firm to defend our sovereignty. Banko mome banko kami that is why I am so passionate about my country. Allah have given me the opportunity to travel to other countries, alhamdulillah. Allah have given me the authority to travel to some African countries to work there for a month or 2 or 3. And I know how some of these countries are improving. I know how some of these countries are developing. I want to be part of people who will fight to have a better country for the generation coming. That is what exactly we're doing. Let us not allow to be distracted by people who solely believe in tribalism. Because leaders who are sitting in power, sometimes the only hope they have is to divide and rule the citizens. But leaders can only rule us with that tactic of divide and rule if we accept it. Like kunung, nkaramo maba fokan, karamo ba. Ako, if you can, for example, is it or no? Let's say nde mumanding quality, but mbama mufuloleti, mbama mufuloleti. Now why mususuoleti? If I can go to Susuolia, ne convince for ye dung singa ya din na fududa. Come on. I can able to go to them and convince them to vote for the party I belong to. So remember you want to go the approach. And that is all what I want to tell to all my party supporters. The approach to people, the way we are going to meet people, the way we are going to talk to people, the way we are going to interact with people. Let's make sure we are moderate in whatever actions we are doing. Moderation will give us what we need. And it doesn't mean what we need, kind of life system. No, we have to be moderate all the time. I am appealing to each and every one of you again, every Gambian. Kajoko. B, all the oppositions we have in this country, the only person who is tried and tested is Honorable Usaini Dabo. And that is the reason why I say so. Out of all the opposition parties, Melbeja, please tell me, Jumala Nanake vice president so far, maybe Dr. Farimata Tambaja. But Jumala Nanake vice president and a foreign minister, that is only Usaini Dabo. A man who stood for us when it was difficult. A man who faced the dictator for 22 years and he ended up being in prison. A man who promised us, and I believe and I hope that he is going to fulfill his promise, that he is going to serve only one term. Yes, I believe in this because looking at the age of Usaini, wallahi, I mean, nobody more Usaini will go into 100 term. If not a Gambian call their demand for. If not a Gambian call their demand. So I can tell you for free, Usaini is somebody he is well connected to the grassroots. Usaini is well respected.
Last question. How do you feel losing the people that you have given them power, like mayors? I told you, like Talib has gone and Rocky is silent. These are the people, you guys have given them a lot of power, giving them mandate twice to serve your party, and today they are not benefiting the party as we are speaking.
Yeah, like I said, they are not the first people to. People who left the party are not the first people to leave the party. Remember, the president of the republic was elected was nominated to be the flag bearer of the party in 2016, and he was subsequently elected to be the president of the republic. He is from UDP, about the UDP. And when he was going, he actually went with all the party supporters. In fact, he also went with some of our executive members. Remember, Lamin Cham was our youth president. Fatmata Jawara was the female youth president. Maimuna also was an executive member. Undanyang.
Yeah.
Yes, Undanyang.
You can summarize it. Yeah, I think all right. I know you haven't called, so you can summarize and make a conclusion.
Yeah. So like I said, Ali, those who have left the party before today, are Seattle. But yet still, like I said, I mean, we are calling on every Gambian who believes in change to join us. Every Gambian who have the feeling who have the belief Barrow cannot do it, and really you want Barrow to move, please join UDP. We are ready to give you that results. We know, like I said, is their democratic right to leave the party. But one thing for certain, I can tell you, I mean, people are talking about Rohey Malik Law. I am not saying Roy either is going to stay in the party or is going to go out of the party. But one thing I know is she's a very committed person, and she's doing a lot of work in the upcountry. I think this week she's going to do a lot of work. So a person like Roy, you understand? I mean, my advice to the party supporters is let them always be very careful of the negative comments. Melka Bonham from the other side, they can call Chukosi. Attack. Please, I am apologizing I am appealing to each and every one of them. Let us be very careful. In the critical moment, later, it can tackle it. Because y'all we have numbers. Wherever any but what they think going to go, it will come for until carry act. Nimber react na react positively. Let us not react negatively. So those who left the party, like the prince of the royal family, the new monarchy in Fajara, you understand? And like I mean, I have no problem of the royal monarchy to leave the party because it's his democratic right to leave the party. My only problem is you cannot leave a party who made you who you are. Who knows Talib Ahmed Bensouda in 2018? Tell me, who will tell me they actually know Talib in 2018? It was because of UDP who made Talib who is today. So that reflection, that memory should always be in him. But if Talib is allowing young people, youngsters, Melia Longo, they are very young. They are very small. Every day, they dine and wine with Talib. These are the people, Melia Longo, we've seen them every day insulting, misleading the public about the United Democratic Party. But what surprises me, today, you are telling us UDP is a vampire movement. But it's the same UDP. You struggle so hard. You spend a lot of money that you want to lead that party. And you know, and today you are saying that party is a vampire party. Come on. You're telling us, because the only moment you want to tell us that party is not a good party, it's a bad party, it does not believe in principle, is the moment you want to be the leader of that party and you lose that seat. That is why today you are caricaturing us. Who is going to believe you? Who is going to trust in you? The institution you want to use to be the president of the republic, that institution, it could be belief or that institution baraka. Who are you fooling here? You're not fooling anybody. But remember for the alala hakiltu. Asala hakiltu moja, but alala hakiltu Unite Movement. Unite Movement, DMC, Divide Movement for Change. Allah hakilu Divide Movement for Change to. Imanna banku kute to because bin Ibrahima Dampa Jala Safero. Ako akan nadle example le samana. Ako nad kare fayo. Ako UDP boda nad kono ilote fayo. Ako nadi ye karte kese wulmuwan nins lul nim fenna soto. UDP e karte kese wuli keme anim fen soto. Ako sanwala UDP la karte oni jita bakel. Ako way mentandi wala nyinduko. Ako UDP niage bi fana e balan kon coalition la eto left la kajo ko to letara opposition ya doron. Bara ko molbel ya lonko wala molbel wala fa falula ako wolbe kafla nyomol e third force ke. The third force ke. So now in his statement, Niajibe logical. What is telling you? They want to be like Nat. They want to be like Nat. Because Yalogo, Nat could not unseat the president at that time. But Nat refused to make Hussein to lead, and at the end of having 25,000. So Abeko to Langan Yomunity. kajo ko ka UDP la carte o tala ka UDP boyndi but ila nganyo manke nyindi ko example what evidence source because now the phone like ala mako roka the phone like ke moldi melaka evidence sama nan tole melaka kibaro sama ne kibaro mi ala gon sakaran noje because atay me folo nyindi ko nin nadi e carte ke wulum won luso this mean go not ila lo fa nyama nyama ma UDP soto bu kala kasaro so ito lebdo kasara kilomula ito lebdo balan nale pour que kasaro cause UDP ka kasaro cause Gambia ila nganyo mo Ibrahim Damfa anilo mo and then if I listen to this man nyum kwata karantal Ibrahim karantal and Ibrahim and I believe in Ibrahim. I trust this boy very well, but my advice to him, hey Ibrahim, it's a safero kanyanga nyama, it's a katako kanyanga nyama, it's a hakilu dubate ila integrity it's a hakilu dubate. For Ninkolo Mudme Alongo Moli Kanu. I mean, with all differences, I love him. I love Ibrahim. I admire this boy, to tell you the truth. But recently, how he is behaving, I am telling you, even because the royal family in Fajara, what they are looking for is Asodola. I am not God. But what science tells us right now is Asodola. And telling him from last affair, Talib even Nathan Nanjang as a deputy ila movement of the deputy so la nyim banko kam izinillah na bot alabala inshallah na jigo di alal ila movement at a council of so la nyim banko kanja talk less of an alcalo because that movement is going to be scattered immediately after election. So we are going to win the election inshallah because I believe a lot of Gambians are going to join us. I believe because I'm connected with a lot of people. There are people they are silent, but and these are well-respected people in the society. Not some of these people I've never seen them in politics, but they will contact me through my messenger. All the time, that's what they will tell me. But really, you are patriotic. You bango kanule. Kana so moyebula nandrola, kana so moyebula bulila. Make sure men can you bara wala ka banko ka more enlightened about issues in the country. And that is what UDP, that's what we want to do. So Alu, I can tell you for free, UMC is not a threat to us. The only thing is they believe in misinformation and manipulation. So the moment the misinformation, I'm always there to counter it, to tell people the truth. Their message is not the truth, but until a message, you can make sure the message from them understand. Nulu, Kavonian Talibule Tamu, another royal family, you more so than another million understand it will fall malong what actually they are into. Ibege, il left a Gambian called feeling, il left a Gambian called Tarden. But he told the Gambia Tarden Lano, because Gambian call ya understand what is good for them for the future of this country. So Allah Baraka Bake.
Thank you so much,
having me here, and thanks to everyone. Meli Alongo, they share the program, and then Alu, thanks for your time. You made a no interview. Actually, I want to give it to you since ever. If not didn't know but I'm impossible no bila possible that. But no fela joron da malo milebe kede from madam ole mbamalo madam ola ko malo but bitu Allah program do kuma de bella fela ko da ngeni ngi jongo soto ko tan because I love talking imaye ko e be diable ko nita start mboka but yes I love talking but ngal menfo ngal la fela sana anda bokala kana ko mo patch ne ko mo patch mole ko me tapalen tungola ko mo patch ndam ko mo patch de ninde ko mo fala ngal la fela kafo. So a basic person, I understand. Mome ya long ala family mom bam bag pro I understand taka wala that's my stand. So wala tino nak jabirol ka jabile because ngala fele mba jom ma membe siring wulo kono mba kadijatu pro I understand ngam memfo wala tino I always want to simplify things ke bonni nyokono killing ka jaba ke sa bonni nyokono karunta mama ja kolon kono mama en karandi wala thanks for your time. Thanks to all the UDP members who have shared this program. Thanks for everything. And everyone commenting. And those people who they've shared the program. Thanks to you all. I might say something here, amanken intentionality no kida doron muntala nasulity. But whatever I said here, may alongo wale be banko dum na faka alongo wubuta ala subhanahu wa ta'ala ya haza wajal ba atlamarata almadi wala fokamala atlamarata almadi wala ko bela bari alon ala subhanahu wa ta'ala kay yamar men la olta wala nyundu ko albaraku ken dola ala men so al better silo kan ay gasilati silo me alongo elin sirat al mustaqim silo me alongo akada sila cleanuti oton be jongol dambe moldan ka fu ko ni atara da kuma fu jambe ya lonko aman la ku alal hako boyni aman ken ngani yoti bana men fa do ala ku do ala lonko bo Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala haza wajal assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much, Sirfo. It's good to have you. I mean, contanda back here, Dankun Mulanyami, Purkaja na Kachake. Kachani Jamfara. I mean, for the first time, we have part 1 and part 2. But again, we thank all the followers, Minyanoko, and follow YouTube, name Facebook. You know, I think this is one of the greatest. I mean, since we started this program, UDP call, you know, Ibuka Bayana, Kika Fasaro Kelde. Alabarga Baki, Alama Kunimani, Mo, and program follow come. Until next week, we will come on your way again with another guest, Purkaja and program with Samana. We have 9 months to go. Still forgot about it. I will do that. Still good to have you. Thank you so much.